Futures trading involves a substantial risk of loss and may not be suitable for all investors. Therefore, carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition.
Good morning. It's Monday, January 12th. I'm Phil Streible, Chief Market Strategist at Blue Line Futures. So overnight stock futures and other asset classes, they are a bit lower here with the Sell America sentiment revived by the Trump administration on the latest attacks with the Fed. Looking at the S&P 500, down about 40 points at 69.66. You do have the NASDAQ down about 75 basis points here, sitting at 25,734. So it's down about 200 points. So look at the precious metals and the broader markets here. The precious metals, they are at all-time highs. Gold and silver climbing to records here as a broad-based metals rally as the U.S. Justice Department threatened the Federal Reserve with a criminal indictment, reviving some of those concerns over the central bank's independence. So gold, 14-day average range sitting at about $88.90. Key level support rising to 43.14. You go to the silver market, the 14-day average range sitting at $4.72 with the key level support at 72.57. So technically breaking out over those all-time highs at 82.67 on some rising volume. So let's see if we can continue to hold those gains. Looking at the ETF flows from Friday, ETFs, they did sell some gold, some platinum. They bought silver and they bought palladium. So gold declining about 0.1% with the year-to-date change unchanged here at the moment. Exchange-traded funds, they cut about 123,000 ounces of gold from their holdings in the previous trading session. So total gold held by ETFs sitting at about 99 million ounces, and gold advancing about 4.4% this year and rising about 0.7% on Friday. Looking at silver, those ETF flows jumping 3.63 million ounces, and palladium also rising for the sixth straight day. Last week's ETF changes, though, they did increase the gold holdings, they reduced some silver holdings, they reduced platinum, and they increased palladium. So the gold-silver ratio, big sell-off in the overnight session, sitting at 54-1, dropping from about 57-1. So you'll get the macro and the equity markets here. Well, there's no economic releases expected out today. You're going to have Fed's Bostic, Barkin, and also Williams scheduled here for some different events throughout the day. Those interest rate cuts, the expectations, they are declining here with the CME's Fed Watch tool showing about only a 5% likelihood that the Fed will cut rates here at that January meeting. And then you go out to March here sitting at about 30%. You'll get the FX markets, the dollar index, big sell-off on some of that news here, sitting at 98.54, and the euro currency rising up about 48 points, sitting at 117.18. 10-year treasury yields, little reaction here, sitting at about 4.19%, in that range between 4.22 down to about 4.11, and the key level resistance on the 10-year futures sitting at 113. Bitcoin futures steady at right around 91,000. The key level is going to be 93,250. Could be a breakout here, could push back up to that 100,000 level, but a break below 86,300 opens the gates for further liquidation. The S&P Gamma exposure remains positive, and if you look at Europe, look at Asia, well, those European stocks, they did retreat from some of the highs. Concerns about that Fed independence here. And then you look at Asian stocks, well, they did rise with the MSCI tacking on about 0.6% and snapping that 3-day losing streak. So if you guys got any questions, shoot an email to info@bluelinefutures.com. Remember that futures and option trading does involve risk of loss, may not be suitable to all investors. Good luck, good trading.
Futures trading involves a substantial risk of loss and may not be suitable for all investors. Therefore, carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition.